Alright, so I just thought I would turn on the camera and speak about one another major thing that I focus on a daily basis that really like moves the mountains for me. And it is the principle of momentum. Because momentum is really one key thing that I focus on a daily basis. Like every single day I focus on how can I create momentum in my life. And the way I see momentum is that it's actions that compound over time and gives you an scalable leverage. So the way I see it as well is that there's two things that can give you momentum. There's motivation and there's discipline. And I see discipline as this baseline. Like you need to have discipline because your momentum, you want a momentum that goes like this. Like it's a constant up going thing. And there you need to have a baseline, and that's your discipline, because if you fall below this baseline your momentum will just drop. Like you will see predictable results. But if you have a baseline of discipline, then it's like a safety net. And that's why discipline and like just willpower, it isn't enough. You need to create a system for it. And that's a book like Atomic Habits have really helped me with that, like how to create a system and a routine. Thereby your willpower is not the one who's taking the decisions. It's just a system that you walk into, and like everything just happens remotely, and you just have to stay disciplined with that thing so you keep your baseline. So for me it's like having non-negotiables. When I have non-negotiables I know I will keep momentum, because like just by me doing these things I know I'm like I'm good for the day. But in addition also that, to like increase my momentum as well, like my non-negotiables is just a safety net for not losing momentum. But in order to increase it as well, like I have other systems. Like I do the work, I do the hard work. I'm disciplined about these things. I'm 100% focused on these things and putting in the effort. But another major thing is when you have when you can add motivation into that as well. So you have discipline as a baseline. That's a non-negotiable. Like you can't tolerate other than the baseline that you're set to yourself. These, like you need to do this. But when you have motivation, like it's just a booster. It's putting rocket fuel on that rocket. Like normally it's just normal gasoline, but when you put rocket fuel and nitrous and stuff like that, that's motivation, and that's where you can just burst workout. That's where we see, like if I really have a motivational day, like I'll get much like so much done. Like you see me posting 4 or 5 videos on a day, because I know if I don't capture that motivation and really try to burst things out, like it will just fade away. So I might as well take advantage of it. But then I still have my baseline, my discipline, and I will, like every day I'll just raise the barrier of what I can tolerate of discipline and my baseline. And that's basically how I keep my momentum. And once again, not being too hard on myself, because like don't let one day ruin your momentum. Like this, you can't just be hard on yourself on this. It's constant learning and a constant concept of proof. Like for example, here this morning I wasn't very motivated, but I need discipline. So that's why I'm starting making small commitments, like going out on a walk, brushing my teeth, like taking all these 2 minute steps, something that I can do in 2 minutes, and then I can just continue, because the brain is always the first thing that's the hardest for the brain. But if you have a system that you go into, or you can break things down into small bites. Like it will be much easier, and you will just stay on that baseline, and your momentum will just go up. So yeah, even yesterday, like I feel like shit. I had a couple of drinks the night before, and like was completely hungover, but I knew I had to stay accountable for the actions that I took. So I still did my non-negotiables, like walked 10,000 steps, recorded a YouTube video, did a workout. Like there is things that needs to be done because that's your baseline. That's what I can't tolerate. Like I can't tolerate below my baseline and my non-negotiables. And everything from there is just a safety net for me to increase my momentum. But by me hiring my standards and my discipline and the routines, like the processes, then I'm just like increasing it, and yeah, that's really a thing. Like whenever I wake up, I'm only focused on how can I create momentum for this day, or like sometimes it's not even to increase it. It's just making sure that your momentum doesn't fall, because like when you know time is compounding and it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like everything will be good. It's just if you can put more effort into your system and like use discipline and motivational the right way, like you're just fastening the amount of time to see success. But when you have your systems, your baselines, your non-negotiables, and the standards that you can't go over or and you won't tolerate, like that's when you know you're home safe. Every other thing is just a benefit. It's just about not losing the momentum and only focusing on how can I keep my momentum and how can I increase it, and not get caught up in these things when you actually end up losing, because that's just when the down spiraling feedback loop goes on. Because if I let one day ruin my momentum and I will just get caught up in my head, like it's just a death cycle. But if you can be delusional about it and forget it, so we're moving on, looking forward, and keep that baseline, you're home safe. So that's a bit. That was a short video about how I focus on momentum and how I use different tools to make sure I keep my momentum and I increase it on a daily basis. So take care. Bye.